Well, yesterday we told you about a bill that would put a cap on the amount of money that a parent can get from a school abuse lawsuit.
A 3-hour-long Senate Judiciary meeting ending in more questions about West Virginia schools' liability insurance. Eyewitness News reporter Shayla Klein explains tonight.
He was slapped when he wasn't doing an assignment correctly.
Craig Bowden is pleased the Senate Judiciary Committee decided to table Senate Bill 560 that would reduce the amount of money awarded in a school abuse lawsuit claim by $250,000. Bowden, whose son Trenton was abused by his teacher at Holtz Elementary, is still in the middle of a lawsuit against Kanawha County Schools.
Went over to a little girl she had in the corner and pulled back a partition. She had her hidden and slammed her face into her desk and asked him if he wanted to be like her. And he was terrified and stopped crying immediately.
The bill was introduced as a way to reduce insurance premiums for school boards across the state.
It's true to say, I guess, is it not, that there aren't any county boards of education who are going to be getting a premium reduction?
Not overall, no.
But the West Virginia Board of Risk and Insurance Management testified that even with this bill, there would still be an increase in premiums due to a number of school lawsuits. Brim's still trying to pay off settlements from Miracle Meadows lawsuits.
You paid $27 million already, millions more.
Yes.
And without the reserves set aside to pay those.
In 2014, the Christian boarding school closed after allegations of physical and sexual abuse. Because the amount of time to report the abuse has been expanded, more abuse victims from the school are coming forward today.
Right now, I have about 115 claims filed, with more to come.
Whether Miracle Meadows as a nonprofit affects county boards of education is unclear. While the insurance company is not allowed to directly take money from the boards to pay off the Miracle Meadows debt, the company does take some of the premium into a savings.
We have some excess premium dollars that have been accumulated over many years. I have asked for a bill to move a significant portion of those funds to the non-state program in an attempt to help and not seek legislative help this year. But down the road, I could be seeking help to pay those.
Lead sponsor, Senator Charles Trump, tabling the bill until the insurance organization can be studied.
I don't think it's going to provide, at least in its current form, any significant relief to the premium problems that the boards of ed are seeking, and there is substantial heartburn and angst about other provisions that are in the bill.
Bowden thanking the committee for tabling the bill, saying he's not the only parent whose child suffered abuse in West Virginia schools, and that suing the school is sometimes the only way to get justice.
It's not just about money. That's not why we're suing the school board. We sued the school board because they were just trying to sweep it under the rug.
Reporting in Charleston, Shayla Klein, Eyewitness News.